Hello there folks, back again for another video. In this one we're going to be talking a little bit about a game that I've seen pop up in its early stages from the one and only Graham Davey, who has been working on previous games under Grey for now, like Test of Honor and 0200 Hours, which is pretty fantastic. The latest game in this arsenal though, stepping away from the historical with Test of Honor and 0200 Hours, is a fantasy game. So this is Guards of Traitors Toll. And I thought I'd just sort of introduce this one, tell you what it's all about, and then have a little bit of a think about the miniatures that you might be able to pick up for this game that are already out there, alongside some stuff that Graham seems to have in the works anyway. And also kind of where you could take the game and what I'm hoping from it as well. So yes, Guards of Traitors Toll is a forthcoming skirmish adventure game set in a fantasy city, written by Graham Davey. Patrol the streets, alleys and markets of Traitors Toll, chase down and arrest the rogues, cheats and cutthroats that prey on the unwary, ensure the citizens don't get too rebellious, and uncover deeper plots that threaten the city. The bustling city of Traitors Toll is home to a multitude of merchants and travellers, buskers and charlatans, sorcerers and scholars, not to mention, hidden among them, pickpockets, thieves, smugglers and worse. The task of keeping the citizens safe, catching wrongdoers and dealing out justice falls to the city guard. All sounding very cool so far. Love the idea of a skirmish game. I like the idea of it being about guards and sort of like having to deal with ne'er-do-wells on the streets of a city. It means it's going to be really fun, big tabletops full of terrain and interesting things like that to get people excited about their encounters. The other thing that was really cool, and you can see it here down below as well, is gameplay for Traitors Toll is semi-cooperative. Each player controls a guard captain and a patrol of 5 guardsmen, who must deal with the most challenges hidden amongst the crowd. Such tasks might be capturing an escaped prisoner, battling a crazed wizard, locating a lost child, taking down a smuggling gang, or investigating a mystery. While they have the same goals, each side is trying to make the most arrests, grab the glory, and win recognition and reward from their supervisors. Also very, very cool. Gain experience, recruit allies, and locate useful items. The odd bribe will be useful too. Seems perfectly legit when it comes to guards. A degree of violence will be necessary, but killing suspects will upset the populace. I like that as well, so you've got to be slightly measured about what you do. If there is too much discontent, the people riot and rebel. The city lords will be furious, and both players lose. The game has a strong narrative legacy element as your cards develop new skills and learn secrets that impact subsequent tasks as well as later games. So a couple of cool things there that I thought worth diving into. Gameplay is semi-cooperative. Really like that idea. Reminds me a lot of stuff like Silver Bayonet and Frostgrave and all those kind of games where you can almost sometimes play with a cooperative element to it, but you're also trying to be the one who comes out on top. Very, very nice. I like that the model count is very low. It's a guard captain and 5 guardsmen. Lots of customization options there when it comes to miniatures you want to pick up, including the ones that are probably going to be coming from Grey for Now Games. Maybe we'll see a plastic set or two coming along the pipeline from the folks at Wargames Atlantic. That could be quite nice. I love that there's a really nice selection of different sort of mysteries and tasks that you need to solve, and the fact that it's all tied into a larger campaign that has that kind of legacy element to it as well. Very reminiscent of like classic games like Mordheim and stuff, so this will very much be up a lot of people's streets. I also liked this particular bit here where you can go around killing villains and stuff, but that will start to upset the populace, and I like that you have to be slightly measured about how you approach the game and how many people you take out in close combat and all that kind of things, or how many you lock up and who you leave to sort of run out through the city and you'll get them next time kind of thing. I think it'd be quite nice. The artwork for the game is already looking pretty nice. We've got this sort of lovely render, as you can see here, which shows off a whole bunch of miniatures that I would assume are probably already in the works from Grey for Now Games. They have that kind of look of renders about them, so I can imagine these popping up as miniatures in the near future. You've got a variety of different townsfolk and merchants, scholars and wizards. Then you've got the town guard themselves there in the centre. Either an ogre or just a rather big lad, I guess. You've got your sort of poor fellow there, scholar tripping over a goose. Someone in the back maybe looking like they're about to get into a duel. You've got guardsmen with a crossbow over there as well. Nice horse and all that kind of thing too. So there's probably a lot of stuff already happening in the works. Maybe, in fact, this is actually just sort of, a picture of something that Graham's potentially already done. And this kind of like just gives you a nice little hint of the setting, which I think is quite nice. If you are interested in the game, there is a Facebook page which you can come and check out, which is this one here, It's a private group, but you can just come and join it. I'll have the link down below so you can come and check it out for yourself. So if this game has already got you thinking about all sorts of possibilities when it comes to your collection, definitely go and check that out as well. And of course, there is the page here over on the Grey for Now website, which I will have linked down below as well. I think one of the prevailing things that came out of reading the text and sort of listening to what people have been talking about as part of the community is this has really kind of hit a note, the right note with a lot of the community, and it's got them thinking about all sorts of different models and stuff. A lot of people, obviously, hearing the words guards, will immediately start to think guards, the Night's Watch, and all that kind of stuff, and Vimes and the like. And so I would be very much in the mood to pick up the likes of Sam Vimes. You've got Nobby there as well, Carrot. I think you actually have a full selection of miniatures that you could use for playing the guards, actually. There's even Traitors. So yes, you've got Samuel Vimes there that could work as your fantastic lead character in your guards collection. Another brilliant miniature as well from the folks at Microart. They do gorgeous stuff for Discworld. Even if you're not interested in playing Guards of Traitors Toll, I'm already getting into the mood. You've got Nobby there as well, looking fantastic. Another great take on the miniature as well, based on the fantastic artwork that a lot of people will know for Discworld. You've got Carrot there too, fantastic. He could be another one of your guards in your gang, so that's already 2 of them. Then you've got Angua von Uberwald as well. You've got your fantastic additional character there, looking very cool, done in resin, which is very nice. And then, of course, Colon, as you can see, looking very, very dapper, saluting away. And then capping things off with Cherry Littlebottom as well. So you've got all of your bases covered, effectively, when it comes to miniatures for use in Guards of Traitors Toll, if you want to go down the Discworld route. Last but not least as well, there is the Traitors, as you can see there. Possibly not one of the big miniatures you're going to throw into this mix, but maybe you want to use them as a particularly sort of like focal narrative point in your games. Maybe that'd be the right way to go. You've got a very nice miniature there too as well. If you are interested in getting these miniatures, they are all available from the folks over at Microart Studio. They tend to appear at a lot of conventions and stuff as well, so if you're going to somewhere like Essen later this year, you'll probably be able to find Microart there. You better get your hands on all these gorgeous miniatures. Even if you're not going to be picking stuff up for Guards of Traitors Toll, there's a amazing Rincewind, as you can see there, looking absolutely fantastic. If you're somebody who wants to go down a slightly different route, of course, there are some other options out there, and here's just a few that I've found as I've been wandering around the internet. We have the Guards set from the folks at Northumbrian Tin Soldier, who do absolutely fantastic and characterful stuff. You have a whole range of fantastic guards there, including a slightly larger one who has found some ne'er-do-well halfling to kick out of the city, and you also have some wonderful geese, because if you're going to kick up a stink in the city, you probably want some of them on your side. This one's even got a little tiny gremlin friend, which I think is fantastic. So a slightly alternative route for you to go down there, which I think is quite nice. There was also the Brennanmore collection from the folks at Black Scorpion Miniatures. I am a fan of their work. The stuff that is done by Black Scorpion is some of the best. If you're a fan of like classic Warhammer style miniatures, these are very much going to be up your street, I would say. And if you're looking for some slightly more should we say realistic, less fantasy based characters, this is quite a nice little selection for you to choose from. You got your classic sort of warriors there, men at arms that could be used as town guard, but if you want to go down the city watch route and sort of maybe nail on that kind of Judge Dredd but fantasy vibe, you've got some really nice options, as you can see there, in heavy armor. And then you have the guard captain himself as well, looking very resplendent in that black, red and gold with all the slash silks, which I think is very, very nice indeed. But yes, some nice options there if you're looking to delve into it from the slightly grimdarker perspective, I suppose you'd say. And lots of other options there, as you can see throughout, that you could use to kind of supplement that and maybe use as villains and other scenario-based objectives for use in your games. Of course, we don't necessarily know anything too much about the actual gameplay of Guards of Traitors Told just yet, but it's always nice to do a little bit of speculation and maybe get your eye in and start building up a gang or a set of guards so that when the game eventually does come around, you'll be able to dive in and have some fun with it. I am totally on board with this, as you can tell. Last but not least, if you're not a fan of resin or metal or a mix of the two, there is also a plastic set that is well worth having a look at, mainly because it contains 62 miniatures. This is the Townsfolk miniature pack that you can get from Dungeons & Lasers and Archon Studio for use in your games. It comes with a plethora of miniatures, as you can see here, a lot of which will represent the likes of the Town Guard and other sort of reprobates, nobles, vagabonds, sorcerers, and just basically the people that get stuck in the middle of everything as well. So if you're somebody who's looking to pick themselves up a fantastic set of miniatures in plastic that should be fairly easy for you to paint up and get ready on the tabletop, this should be pretty good to dive into and have a look at. It's all around 32mm scale, same for the stuff from Black Scorpion for Brennanmore, so it's kind of heroic 28. You're looking at 28 32mm for the Guards box set from the folks at Northumbrian Tin Soldier, and all the Discworld stuff is 28mm as well. So it's definitely something for you to have a think about when it comes to diving in and painting up a collection of wonderful miniatures for use in this upcoming game. As I said, I'm really excited to see where they go with this one. There's the Facebook group if you want to come and join it. The link will be down below. I am consistently a fan of small scale games where you're using a handful of miniatures each side. It's why I've always loved games like Frostgrave and Mordheim, Stargrave, and everything else in between. Effectively, all those skirmish games are fantastic, and I really, really enjoy them. It just often means that you don't necessarily get to sit down and have a lot of playtime effectively with them, because you often then end up diving into very versus style gameplay on the tabletop, and one gang, one set of guards, for example, in this could potentially easily outstrip another one when you were diving into playing it. Because this game has a slightly semi-cooperative nature to it, I think that'll probably be a little bit easier on people when they dive in to start playing the game, and hopefully that sort of edge of possible hilarity might be quite a nice way to go with this one, as you look to sort of dive in and tell a little bit more of a tale, maybe do a little bit more role-playing, I guess, when it comes to playing this game. It should be noted that Grey for Now Games has done absolutely amazing stuff in the past with Test of Honor, which is an absolutely fantastic samurai skirmish game with a handful of miniatures, maybe two handful of miniatures per side for you to dive into and have fun with. It's really good fun. If you've not seen any videos on that, make sure to go and check it out. If samurai is not your thing as well, 0 to 100 hours, 0 to 100 hours, however you want to say it, is another brilliant game where you play as the sort of early special forces, so your SAS, your commandos, your paratroopers, etc., going behind enemy lines and taking out all sorts of enemies in World War II. It is a very, very good game, very tense, very narrative. If any of those mechanics carry over from the likes of 0 to 100 hours into Guards of Traitors Toll, I think that's a great thing. I'd also be totally up for it being an almost entirely different set of rules. Graham is pretty damn good at writing them at this point, and I think that there is a lot of fun in store for what we're getting with Guards of Traitors Toll. So yeah, just effectively a little bit of a quick one this time to kind of like tell you a little bit about the game and what's coming up from Grey for Now there for Guards of Traitors Toll, and also a few miniatures options for you to choose from when it comes to maybe starting out with your gang and working out where you're going to go with it. I am very much sort of waiting to dive in and pick up those Discworld miniatures because I think they look amazing. I've always really wanted them anyway, but this now gives me an excuse to pick them up and start thinking about adding them into my collection for use in a potential game in the future. Hopefully it also means that some of my pals will be quite interested in this. Maybe they'll come and join me, as it's semi-cooperative, which I think would be quite nice. I should also note it would be bad of me to not dive in and show off some stuff for boroughs and badges, because one of the nice things about that game is that they actually did do a selection of Town Guard for use in their game, which you could take things in an anthropomorphic route very, very easily. I think we saw one of them there, but I think this is a great opportunity. There we go. So you got a Town Watch mouse. So if you're looking to do sort of like anthropomorphic Redwall-esque Guards of Traitors Toll, maybe this could be a fun route for you to go down. There's loads of different options for you to choose from there, including a whole host of kind of civilians and all sorts of different things. As you can see, you've got things like the Mouse Mother, Mouse Burglar. Obviously, that's going to be fantastic for your scenarios as well. I think there's some really badass looking captains and things like that you could throw into the mix. And of course, you've got all things like Tunnel Jacks and Witch Hunters, which would be great for chasing people around the tabletop. Merchants like the Frog Burger, who's going to be a fascinating fellow to run into as you're playing your games. But yeah, there is a lot. There you go, a Squirrel Watch Corporal. Why would you not want one of those in your collection? But yeah, dive in and see what you think of these particular miniatures as well. Maybe they'll take you down a slightly different route. I'm very open to seeing what people do with this and where they take their games. It's been fascinating seeing what people do with games like Rangers of Shadow Deep and the like as well, where you dive into that and you see people sort of really making it their own, either tying it to a universe that already exists or maybe exploring something entirely new as well. But yeah, Guards of Traitors Toll by Graham Davey and Grey for Now Games is going to be coming, hopefully, later this year. Watch this space. I'm still crossing my fingers for a plastic set of miniatures from Wargames Atlantic. That would be very, very cool. But maybe we'll just make do with fantastic metals and all sorts of different things like that. And there's plenty of miniatures out there, as you've just seen as well. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you go the Discworld route and move this from Traitors Toll to a little bit more ankr-morpork on the tabletop, or would you go for something a little bit different and maybe pick up some of those ranges from different creators to start building up your collection? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to be coming back and diving into another video very, very soon. But for now, bye.